Hey guys, today I'm here at the Knoxville Zombie Walk. We're gonna have some clips from this, as well as the Walking Dead Aquarium. It's one I've been wanting to do for a long time. I'm a big fan of the Walking Dead, and it's all happening right after this. Hey YouTube, this is Pecktec. Now, a Walking Dead aquarium is something I've been teasing for a little while, and I was gonna do it with these big resin hands, the ones I cast right from my own hands. But I wanted a little bit more time. I'm gonna do another kind of weird aquascape with those later, and I found something else. I found a foam head at my local craft store, so I thought it'd be fun to do sort of a governor starter kit, like from season 3 when it's got all those heads in aquariums. So we're gonna take a look at that right now. I'm gonna show you exactly how I did it, and then we'll talk about some stuff for later. So I've had this aquarium at work for a long time, and I've recently changed positions and offices, and it was just time to pull it out and maybe start over. This thing's gone for a long time, so that's going to be the aquarium I use. The next was to take this foam head and paint it. Now, I started off with kind of this light color and just sort of did a base coat of all these different things and just sort of a practice coat. So I'm using acrylic paint, and I didn't think it would hurt to just do a couple of layers. And I'm glad, because what I came out with was this weird jaundice with green splatter kind of look. And it was okay, but still didn't look too good. I decided to paint it over with a really dark colored green and kind of work the skin up from that and get a little bit more depth in those cracks and stuff. So I repainted it with this acrylic paint, and it came out pretty good. It's really pale. It's kind of, I'm not sure if the details will hold out. Acrylic paint is safe, but you need to let it set up for a long time. I let this guy sit for a week, and you know, I've never done this before, so we'll just have to play it by ear and see if it's scary or not. Now, the background came out of the fluval flora that I had before, and I've got to mount this foam head, so I think the best way to do it is going to be just to zip tie it to this thing and then put the whole thing back into the aquarium with some silicone. So I zip tied it. I chose to zip tie this as opposed to attaching it with something else, simply because I don't know if the head's going to do very well, and I want a way out. So if this head doesn't work out, if it ends up looking bad, or if I just get tired of it, I can just clip the zip tie and pull it right out. So I don't have any sort of permanence, you know, I don't have it silicone down to the base of the aquarium or anything like that. With this, it kind of lifts it up a little bit and makes it look like it's maybe floating just a bit. And I don't think the zip ties will be too distracting. I'm going to add some plants and some other things, and then I don't often make aquariums with kind of a way out or something to be temporary in nature, but anytime I experiment, you know, I don't want to take any chances. So if it doesn't work out, I can clip this thing off and get rid of it. But for now, I've got a zombie head attached to the background, and I'm pretty excited about it. I think it's going to work out. A really important thing to do is to clean the glass before you put the silicone on. And usually they say to pill up the old stuff, but I didn't do that. I didn't bother with that. I just went ahead and I put this other kind on here. This is made by Marineland. It's aquarium safe, and I got it at PetSmart. And it needs to cure for 48 hours. And that's a pretty good amount of time. Also, I noticed it was really hard to kind of apply even pressure with a big head right there in the way. So I decided to kind of do the best I can to clamp it down. I can only really get a clamp into the top, so I kind of took these pipes and I fashioned them so they would create pressure on the background all the way up and down. And then I clamped it at the top to make sure this thing didn't slide up or out. And that's about it. I'll let it sit for 48 hours. And then when I pull the pipes out, everything's attached and I'm ready to start aquascaping. Okay, so for this project, I'm going to use fluorite dark, and I have not tried this particular one before. I've used the regular fluorite, but not the dark one. So it'll be interesting to see what it looks like. I'm toying with the idea of not capping this with anything. I'm going to just have the whole thing be fluorite. So let's get it rinsed off. And of course, to rinse this, I am using the bucket that I've modified with some little drainage holes. I'm just going to pour it in here, then run some water through there. Very dusty. Now all there is to do is let the bucket drain. So the other aquarium that's going down is this one, and this one looks okay, but the substrate's getting kind of old and the plants were not really growing like they used to, so it was really kind of time to start over with this anyway. After I moved the fish and I pulled the plants aside, I went ahead and put this aquarium in place. Now it's the exact same aquarium, it's a different aquarium, but it's the exact same model, so I knew it would fit. And I just began by adding substrate. It was kind of tough to get it nice and even with that big head in the way. But I did it really simple. I just did one layer of the fluorite dark, and then I proceeded to add the filter and the heater. Now I added these right away because when I add the plants I want to make sure to try to cover them up a little bit, or as much as I can, so they're not too distracting. I used basically the plants that I pulled from the aquarium that was there before. These plants will have a nice new nutrients in the substrate, and I'm hoping that they'll perk up and look really good very soon. But basically I did the same planting I usually do, kind of jam them in, add a little substrate to cover up the roots. And I did the tall ones on the side and some really small ones in the front. Really basic aquascaping there. I didn't add a whole lot. I'm kind of waiting to see how this tank turns out. Like I said, it's kind of an experiment. Experimenting with the paint and experimenting with just the look of it and stuff. It's a real novelty aquarium, and I don't usually go for that sort of thing, but I think this thing will be neat and creepy and kind of fun to have around for a while. Now I initially put down some cellophane, and this is a little trick you can do when you're filling up your aquarium to kind of help keep the dirt from just kind of going everywhere when you fill it up. And I used my enormously long arms to fill up the aquarium with water that I pulled out of another tank. This ended up looking really neat. It was hazy for a while, but that actually made it kind of cool too. It's a really interesting thing to look at. In my lineup of aquariums, it's a really unusual piece, and I don't know how long I'll keep it or anything like that, but for now it's a really fun, interesting conversation piece for my fish room. And I really enjoy it. I think it's pretty cool. The Zombie Walk is a charity event here in Knoxville that goes to help feed the needy. And you can donate things from food to paper towels, toilet paper, toothbrushes, toothpaste, all that great stuff. They gather it up and they help people that really need it. It's a great event. And if you're ever in Knoxville, you should check it out. Yes, it's been a lot of fun downtown. Lots of zombies, lots of monsters, lots of creatures, and now I've got one at home to sit and keep me company and scare the wife late at night. We'll be back with another creepy aquarium soon. My aquarium box, lots of stuff going on for November, including all the stuff I shot at the Catfish Con. That's all I got for you today. Until next time, follow your bliss, keep a clean tank.
You're watching Pecktec on YouTube.
And said, darling, I remember when you could stop a clock, but ain't that America?